What's up YouTube, and welcome to this Westworld fan theory video. So earlier in the week I did a video all about who is Arnold in Westworld, which is possibly one of the biggest mysteries in the show so far. But there are a lot of other theories, crazy theories out there that people have thought of and come up with. And you won't, well, you can't argue that the show has a lot of mysteries, so let's have a look. Now, one idea is that Ford is a robot, which is pretty crazy. Now, we know that Arnold and Ford built the park together early on, so what if Ford was one of the earliest incarnations of the host that we see now, and he became sentient and then actually killed his creator and then kind of built the park in his own vision and then scrubbed him out from history because perhaps he didn't agree with what Arnold was doing. Now that would be insane. I personally don't think that that would actually happen, but I'm not going to put it past the HBO kind of show to have a crazy massive twist like that. I hope it doesn't. I'm not a big fan of that if that actually happened, but it would be interesting. So our next theory is similar to what I talked about earlier in the week. It's about Arnold, and it's what if Bernard is actually a reincarnation of Arnold? What if Ford felt so bad about scrubbing out Arnold from history, the park's co-creator, that he thought, you know what, I'm going to rebuild him and we can work on things together again. So what if Bernard is actually a host like the rest of them and is given the actual memories of Bernard as well, and that's why he thinks he's calling his wife, etc., and all things like that. So that'd be insane. I can kind of see that happening, to be honest. It's a bit far-fetched, but it would be the kind of thing that would make a lot of sense. It's kind of like, oh, you realise that he's actually a robot, and he's actually Arnold. And that would probably come later on once we find out who he actually is. Man in Black is one of the biggest, I would say, intrigues in the show. We've got this guy going around, pretty much got carte blanche to do whatever the hell he actually wants to do, and this theory is pretty weird. Early on I thought this might be true, based on the original movie, the fact that I thought the Man in Black would be a robot, which some people kind of still believe that this is true, but it would have been interesting to see a kind of black hat robot go crazy and become super self-aware like he is now. But we have seen actual guests interact with him, say, oh, your foundation saved my sister's life, and we've seen things outside of the park as well where they say this man can have what he wants, especially with when he was talking to Ford as well. So I don't think that he's a robot at all, personally. I think that that is kind of an early theory which could have come true, I thought would possibly happen, but isn't going to happen whatsoever right now. So another one relating to the Man in Black is the idea that the Man in Black is William, and there are two timelines happening at the same time. So we've got William, Dolores and Logan together in about 30 years ago, and then we've got the Man in Black in, well, doing what he's doing now in the actual current timeline, and this is this is the same time as we see all the things outside of the park, which now it's coming a bit difficult because we've got Ford there as well talking to the Man in Black, but I think that this holds a lot of credence. It's not the most obvious ones. It's not like Lost where we knew we were watching flashbacks, we knew we were watching flash forwards, we knew we were watching flash sideways and things like that. But here, I think that this holds a lot of credence. And you can look at it in the fact that we've got the old logos and things like that when we see William come into the park. We see a lot of the old logos in some points as well. So there are a lot of things which are a bit difficult with this because we saw old logos when we were seeing certain things which we thought would be in the modern timeline. but it is a pretty interesting theory. So I've got a video of that on my channel as well, so if you check out my Westworld playlist, that is in there. I go into that a lot more in depth because there's a lot to talk about, and I might update that soon because there's a lot more to talk about as well, because we've had some new episodes since then as well. One theory as well, which is a pretty interesting one, is the fact that it is all an experiment and everyone is a robot and a host, and that it's all a test to see how AI actually is, which would be a really weird thing to do. So you've got people who think they're robots, people who think they're not, people who that kind of craziness level, layers of AI. So I don't think that is a theory. So I think there might be at some point they're doing a test and experiment like that, but no, I definitely don't think that theory is really something that would come to fruition at all. Another interesting theory as well is the one that it's like the Matrix, where you literally sit up in VR and you upload yourself into this world. A bit like the anime Sword Art Online, if you've ever seen that. It's on Netflix, I highly recommend checking it out, where a kid he goes into this MMO, this mass multiplayer game, and then he ends up getting stuck in that world due to a hacker and a virus that happens, and if you die in Sword Art Online, you die in real life, which is pretty crazy. So a lot of people are thinking it's similar to like that, where you can literally just sit at home and upload yourself into Westworld, which, no, I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest, because we're seeing too much of the outside of Westworld, etc., and they interact with it to actually happen. And it's similar to the Matrix one as well. The last theory we've got is the fact that it could be a really crazy documentary, kind of like the Roanoke thing that's happening in American Horror Story, which I don't really believe at all, to be honest. I think what we're seeing is what we're seeing, except there's kind of crazy timeline things happening. Now, I know I said that was the last one, but I've got two more just quickly as well. Now, we've got the Maze. Now, the Maze is this season's and show's big mystery, which is interesting because I think personally that it'll be the thing that brings these robots to sentiency, I think, and the person that will help that is this Wyatt fellow. Now, this Wyatt could be anything, and it could be even just a USB stick, and that could be the name of the program that will bring all of them to sentiency. But that's that last theory there for you. So, please do drop a like, please do subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.